Hello, everybody. Welcome to another post-practice report from myself, Brian Emhauser, at Hawk Blogger, on all the places you catch your content: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere else. This was a really, really good practice for the Seahawks offense, easily their best of camp, at least by my eyes. And I'm really happy to have a guy that was part of that practice, Mike Jerrell, on the show. Mike, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It had to feel good to see the offense just real click today.
Yeah, we coming along. Yeah, just we've been putting in the work, just the extra hours, a lot of film study and everything starting to come together. The offense starting to make a little bit more sense to everybody.
I remember talking to you last year when you were a rookie at a little Findlay college, trying to make this roster, and you were bright-eyed, soaking up everything. And I'm telling you, man, you look like a different player this year. You feel like a different player?
I definitely feel like a different player. I definitely feel like I've taken a step forward, just in everything, just in my approach to the game, just my off-field habits of how I'm prepping for the next day, things I'm doing to take care of my body, film study, and also technique as well. I think I took a big step in my technique this year.
What do you attribute that to? What happened?
I spent a lot of time with in the off season at Velocity with Christian. I did some work with some trainers with Josh guy, Marvin we Get Right. So I got right with him, and then the coaches as well too, man. The coaches introducing us to new technique like running off the ball and foot placement, hand placement, replacing our hat at. And those things just helped me, and they start to make more sense. And I was doing those drills last year, heading into the off season with George Fant. George Fant played under John Benton, so a lot of the drills that I was doing, I had already got introduced to him to George.
Interesting,
George, yeah. So
interesting. Shout out to George Fant, absolutely a friend of the show and a favorite here. So, does this scheme, does this coaching staff, does this really suit your strengths as a player?
I would say so. Running off the ball, I get to use my athleticism. It takes a lot of thinking out of it. Hey, just go run and go hit somebody.
Yeah.
And that I feel like that fits me. That's easy for an offensive line. That's an O-lineman dream. So yeah.
Well, and you've been kind of moving around a little bit right and a lot of left lately on the left side. And do you have a side you feel most comfortable on?
I would say naturally. I played right for 5 to 6 years in college. So I would say naturally, yeah, I'm more comfortable on the right side. Like my body's tuned to the right side, but I'm starting to come along at left. Like I'm starting to figured out. I spent a lot of time in this all season just working on left because I knew I needed to work on it more because I hadn't played it. I didn't play it in college. I played all right. So coming here and I'm starting to catch on to it. Like my body's starting to form to the left side all over again. So
I got to say, man, I don't think I've seen you lose a rep from the left side since you started playing there, at least in 1v1s. And obviously team drills is a little harder to check, but man, you've been a rock out there and you're going to get some really good competition.
Yeah, man. I just been, just staying to my principles, like of what I'm supposed to do at a tackle, making sure I'm paying attention to where they're at, how they're lined up, and where I need to place my hand at to win the rep and how many kicks I need. That's the main thing, how many kicks I need so I don't short myself and I can keep my patience and I can get out of my set cleaner. Those are the main things I've been focusing on. The coaches help us with that as well.
Is there something, I've talked to Anthony Bradford last week, and he was talking about how coaching staff's helped him like with different pass sets and keeping things, mixed up so the defensive can't get a beat on what you're doing. Anything that you'd say that this offensive line coaching staff has helped you with this offseason?
Yeah, I would say running off the ball in my pass sets, like, being firm in my pass sets, being firm in the run game, hat placement, leverage, everything, like where I'm looking at, mainly the thing that's like where your eyes, your eyes have to be good at O-line to succeed anyway. So like, where you placing your eyes at in the pass game, where you placing your eyes at in the run game, and the coaching staff have definitely helped me with that.
So you're in the huddle a lot with Jalen Milroe, sometimes with Drew Lock. Jalen's a rookie in there. It's a big step to come in here and command a huddle in a pro system. What's been your early impressions of him?
I think he's handling it well, man. I think he's coming along great. I think he's getting an understanding of the playbook, and I can tell a little. He's talked to me a little bit about what he does in his off field, like a little bit of the virtual reality, and he's telling me how much it helps him. I think the game is slowing down for him because obviously, just like me, for any other rookie coming in, the game's so fast, and like these guys can go from the line of scrimmage to back in coverage in just seconds, and you got to be able to see all that.
Yeah.
So I think he's handling it well, and he's gonna be a great player, man.
Is there any of that VR stuff that they're doing for offensive linemen? Do you need to be able to like check things off the field that way, or does that make any sense at all?
I wish we could.
Yeah.
If we could do some virtual reality, just of like just seeing blitzes, making sure your eyes is right, seeing blitzes. I think that would help. And then I don't think it would help in the run game. I mean, obviously you got to go put some pads on, but I think it would help like locating your eyes in the pass game, especially in our system.
Anyone that you want to give a shout out to that you've been going against on the other side of the ball that maybe folks haven't heard of or don't know as well?
Man, shout out. I say shout out to all of them, man. Shout out to Jamie Sheriff, man. I've been going against him. Shout out D Hall. Shout out Tariq Smith, man. He was a 6th rounder a few years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
From Ohio State. It's crazy. I played against him in basketball when we was kids.
No kidding.
Yeah, I played against him. He played for Ohio Basketball Club, and I ain't gonna lie, they 20 balled us. they 20 balled us. So I remember him growing up. Man, shout out to all of them, man. Shout out Gaines. Shout out everybody.
Yeah, Jalen Gaines is an interesting one, man. He's caught my attention. Yeah. What are you thinking about him coming off the edge?
I think he's good, man. I think right now he's a little raw because coming from small school, we all raw. Like we don't get the I would say at bigger D1 schools, they get more professional training, and I feel like he got a lot of potential. Bro. He's powerful. He's strong. Like, he reminds me of myself, but on the defensive side.
I got to go back to basketball for a second. What position were you playing back then?
I played the 4 and the 5. I played the 4 and the 5.
What was your game like? What was your go-to?
I would say, man, I was in the post. Okay. I love the up and under. I go up and get some dunks in, like 2-hand drop step dunk.
Solid.
I was a defensive player. I say I was a defensive player. I do everything that people didn't want to do: rebound, block shots, go get some steals, dive on balls. I was that guy. Oh, dive on basketballs.
I knew what you meant, and Mike, you're going to be playing your first preseason game this year. In a few days, Pete Carroll's going to be on the opposite sideline. Now, you didn't get a chance to play under Pete Carroll, but it's going to be kind of a unique preseason game. Are you looking forward to what's going to be a kind of charged atmosphere for a preseason game?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see this energy everybody keep talking about. Everybody I've heard about Pete Carroll is always Pete Carroll's energy. Yeah. Just running around, hype. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to see that from a 77-year-old man. But
it is.
That's amazing, though, man. I hope I'm doing the same thing at 77 years old, man. Yeah. That's amazing. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see Gino. I'm excited to see anybody else that went over there, or some guys that I train with. I'm excited to see all of them.
Well, Mike, man, I'm not going to keep you from your recovery and all the stuff you got to do. I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck to you. It's been a pleasure watching you. I can't wait to see you next.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. That's Mike Jerrell of your Seattle Seahawks, man. He's having a fantastic camp, and keep an eye out for him Thursday. I don't think anyone's getting by him one way or another. So appreciate you, dude.
Thank you.
So let me get into the post-practice report for you all as Mike heads over to take care of important recovery stuff. Folks, this practice, let me move the camera for you. This practice was something special. It was special enough that I'm not going to head over to the press conferences. I think Boye Mafe and Torrey Horton are going to be doing press conferences, but I just got to get right into it with you. Easily the best practice for the offense through camp, and the word I would use is crisp. There were some passes that hit the ground with Sam Darnold, but not many. And they were kind of, maybe like Marquez Valdes-Scantling made a different decision on an option route than Sam Darnold was expecting. Or maybe Sam Darnold's throwing the ball away to avoid, a negative play. But it was crisp, man. Sam Darnold taking the ball, making his reads, hitting guys in stride. There were big days all around. If I was to name the player of the day, I'd have a hard time doing it because Sam Darnold certainly was high on that list. I think this was his best day, showed his arm, showed his command of the offense, showed decision-making, all the things that you really want to see. Looked like a quality starting quarterback in this game. I could put Jackson Smith-Njigba as the player of the day. My God, he routed up Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen. Like, he was making cuts that and just breaks is a better word for it, breaks on his routes that makes him special. It's what makes him Jackson Smith-Njigba, and he was creating separation. And the cool thing was you could see the confidence and the chemistry building between him and Sam Darnold, knowing like, hey, he's going to be open on this. I can let go of the ball before he's even out of the break because he's going to be open. And so JSN had a great day. I could say Elijah Arroyo was the player of the day. Elijah Arroyo caught like I don't know, 5 passes for, he probably had close to 100 yards of receiving today, all told, maybe more. I don't know. I could say Jalen Milroe was the player of the day. My God, did he have a great day today. Man, he made some gorgeous passes down the field. Again, some of the things that I'm looking for the most, I know he can throw a deep ball. I know he's got that in his game. I'm looking for the refined aspect of playing the quarterback position. And with him, there's Robbie Utes, man. The guy's so popular. Yeah, when are you going to come on the show? All right, I'll invite you. We'll get you over here. So Jalen Milroe making plays that involve actually going through his progressions and then finding guys open and just making solid throws. He also doing read option and just taking off like a blur, whether it's up the middle or outside. I thought he had a great day. I could say Torrey Horton Jr., he had a great day today. Another series of catches. I thought Tyrone Broden had a great day today, caught a long touchdown, some other plays. Cody White had a long touchdown catch, beautiful catch on a throw from Drew Lock. And it was a gorgeous throw by Drew Lock, lofted it up in the air. Cody White runs underneath it for what I think would have been like a 55-yard touchdown. And then just Cody White keeps running to the corner of the practice field where there's a little opening to the lake, and he just screams at the lake, like AJ Barner had a great day. He caught a number of passes. I think the running game was good. Like a lot of positive things there. And the defense, the defense had their moments as well. The defense, Derek Hall got into the backfield for what would have been a sack or two. I thought Boye Mafe had a couple of plays. Ernest Jones early in practice, they were doing run fit drills, and Ernest Jones just absolutely blew up. I think it was Damian Martinez. Yeah, it was Damian Martinez for, what would have been no gain, and just leveled him and then went through and was high-fiving the rest of the guys on the team. Ernest Jones is, I think, really happy to be back. And the team's obviously really happy to have him back. There was a great rep early on in that run fit drill where I was watching, and Leonard Williams was lined up over Anthony Bradford. And Leonard Williams is just, there's a reason they call him Big Cat. The guy is so quick off the ball. And to see Anthony Bradford go against that and actually stalemate Leonard Williams was pretty cool to see. Again, it looks like Anthony Bradford is in a pretty good spot at that right guard position. I think that's the direction things are going. Christian Haynes did practice today, but he was not practicing there. A lot of his reps were at left guard. And later on in the depth chart, Jalen Sundell got a lot of time with the ones at center. I don't know if I saw Olu Oluwatimi today. I don't think I did see him out there. So we'll find the coach. I don't think is going to speak at the podium today. So we won't get updates on injuries, but that's something to watch for sure at the center position. Hopefully it's just, a personal day or something like that, but something to keep an eye on there. I thought Jalen Sundell looked really good today. It's of note that the offense had such a good day with, Jalen Sundell and Federico Merenges and those guys playing center. That doesn't mean that Olu is a problem. I'm just saying it's worth noting that they didn't really miss a beat. It is worth noting as well that Charles Cross was on the practice field today. He had pads on. He went through some drills. Anytime there was like contact drills where they're really kind of going after it a little bit more, he didn't participate. So I think that says a lot about Charles Cross wanting to be here, loving this team, loving this game, wanting to step up as a leader. And he doesn't have to do this. He could just sit out until he's completely healed, but he wants to be out there. And I think the team respects that. I think the coaches respect that. I think his fellow offensive linemen respect that. And I think that was really good to see him already back in pads and doing some participation at least. But man, I'm going to go through some of my notes. My goodness, it was... There's a lot of notes here. So with that, let me go through. They didn't do like 1v1s today unless I'm forgetting something. It was really just prepping. Like the practice felt a little different. There were no fans here today other than like the VIP folks. And it was great. I'm looking right now at Julian Love following one of his kids across the field. It's adorable, man. Anyway, and shout out to Michael Sean Dugar, who he and his wife just had their second kid last Wednesday. So I just found that out, and congrats to MSD for that. All right. Ricky White was back on the practice field. He had a nice day today. He caught a number of passes. Really, I think he really stood out. Let's take a look at some of the notes. So the right side of the line in run fit drills this was Gray Zabel. Sorry, not Gray Zabel. On the right side, it was Anthony Bradford and Abe Lucas did a great job. And then Robbie Utes sealed, and George Halani had a big opening on that. The next play, it was cool to see. I'm enjoying watching Nick Emanwari in these drills, because I think one of the nits or the question marks about his game is how physical he can or will be in the run game. And so he's in there, and on this next play, he is straight arming the defender, getting right in there, being physical, not being shy at all about contact. So that was good to see. And while he did that, there was some really great interior rush from Quentin Bohanna. And then Tyreek Smith, who Mike Jerrell just mentioned, had a nice backside seal on that play for a tackle for a loss. And then and Justin Hines, the defensive line coach, was thrilled with the way J.R. Singleton and Bubba Thomas played for the third string defensive line against run fits. You know, I'm not allowed to say what he said, unfortunately, even though it was a positive thing, but he was really happy about what he was seeing there. And on one of those plays, Jamie Sheriff shoots the gap from it, off-ball linebacker, tackle for a loss. This is like the third string kind of offensive line, but it was just good battle back and forth, good physical stuff there in the run drills. They did have crowd noise piped in today just to kind of get a feel for what that's going to be this week. So then let me walk you through some of these plays. So it opens up team drills with Sam Darnold. I think, let me make sure I don't have, okay, this is on the opponent's 30-yard line. So not quite the red zone, right? 30-yard line. First pass. Beauty zips it over the middle to A.J. Barner for a 30-yard touchdown. First play. Next play. Patty O'Connell, defensive on defense on the linebacker, blows up a run to the left. But then the play after that, DeMarcus Lawrence has instant pressure into the backfield on what was a bootleg, and Sam Darnold's able to get the ball out quickly to Elijah Arroyo for what would have been a 15-yard gain or so. Then they run it to the middle, nothing there. Ernest Jones blows it up. Then they throw a screen to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he gets a big gain. And as they're coming off the field, the defense was like, we got to be better than that. Like you could tell the defense was a little shell-shocked because that has not been happening to them so far this training camp. But the offense kind of had its way with that first string when they came out. Then Drew Lock comes out. He hits Torrey Horton for what would have been like an 18 to 20-yard gain. And by the way, Torrey Horton, again, sits into a soft spot in the zone, which I think has shown up as something he is pretty savvy about, especially for a rookie, and something he can be additive to this team for. So he gets a big gain. Then they run it to the left with Damian Martinez. He gets a big gain. And then as Jalen Milroe comes onto the field, he goes deep on the first play to Ricky White. It was incomplete. Terrific coverage by Esau Waxter on that play. Ran him out of bounds. Got a lot of kudos from his defensive teammates. Then they hand it off the middle to Damian Martinez. Again, up the middle, gets a nice gain. Oh, sorry. That was wrong. Wrong. Sorry. Deep to Ricky, out of bounds. Then a read option to Jacardia Wright, the running back. He gets a big gain as a runner there. And then the next play from Jalen Milroe, touchdown pass to Cody White. And this was great. This was a perfect example of what I'm talking about, where he goes through his initial read. It's not there. Second read. And then Cody White uncovers. Jalen Milroe throws it over the top, drops it right in the basket to Cody White for a touchdown. So again, like, first string, second string, third string, offense, did a really nice job to kick things off. Got off to a really quick start. Next set of series, they start at their own 35-yard line. And Sam Darnold's back in there. He tosses it to George Holani, DeMarcus Lawrence in the backfield again. I mean, this is just a constant. DeMarcus Lawrence in the backfield. And I am really eager to see what he's going to add to this defense. I think I have, and I think everybody else has, dramatically underestimated the impact he's going to potentially have to this defense. So really, really cool to see that. Sorry, I lost my place. So DeMarcus Lawrence in the backfield. Then this particular series, not much for the offense. So Sam Darnold and that group didn't get much. Next series was with Drew Lock. He makes a gorgeous throw to Elijah Arroyo, who's guarded by Josh Jobe for what would have been at least 20 yards. And this play had Arroyo going across the formation or across the field. And Josh Jobe is a cornerback. He really couldn't keep up with Arroyo. And Arroyo makes this catch in stride, outside of his frame, and just keeps going. I'm trying to see if Robbie Utes was threatening to come over here. I had to make sure I knew it was going to happen. He's not. So we're going to have Robbie on this week. Anyway, so to see a tight end run away from a cornerback, that is a play that caught my attention. It's one thing to do that against a linebacker or a safety. To do it against a corner, now maybe that says something about Josh Jobe. You can make that case, fine. But Josh Jobe has played against some pretty good receivers for the Seahawks and done pretty well. So I'm more likely to just attribute it to Elijah Arroyo is looking like potentially pretty special player. So great play there from Drew Lock to Elijah Arroyo. And then a couple runs, not going to get into that. Jalen Milroe comes in. A few read option plays, and this is the first time where he takes a read option and he runs it up the middle as opposed to read option and taking it outside. And when he took off up the middle, I mean, there was a huge hole and he just exploded through it. So good play there. Then let's see, more team drills later on. This is at their own 35-yard line. Sam Darnold back out there. He has a quick pass to JSN. And this is the first one where I was like, I was standing next to Michael Sean Dugar and we both were like, whoa. Mike thinks that JSN pushed off a little bit. I didn't see it that way. I saw him just put on the brakes and separate away from Reek Woolen. Either way, it was a nice completion. Then they run it to the right with George Holani, who gets a big gain again and behind Anthony Bradford and Abe Lucas. Jalen Sundell had a great block on that play. They were working a little bit on screen stuff today. They had a nice screen over to Zach Charbonnet on the next one. Then Sam Darnold hits an out route to JSN, who just absolutely routed up the defender there. I think it was Witherspoon in that one. Just stepped on the brakes in a way that most athletes can't. People talk so much with receivers about acceleration and about speed and 40 time, but a lot of it is deceleration and being able to just stop your momentum on a dime. And JSN, I think, is one of the best in the league, in the world, at doing that. After that, Sam Darnold hits Elijah Arroyo over the middle for what would have been a 15-plus yard gain. So, like, these are meaningful. These aren't just like dink and dunk stuff, which is a lot of what we saw earlier on. Sam Darnold dumping it off after not seeing people down the field. Today, it was like first read a lot of times, second read a lot of other times, and the ball's coming out and it's on target and it's just in rhythm. It was really promising performance there. Then Drew Lock comes in. He is scrambling to his right. Probably, I think, would have been a sack, to be honest, but they let the play go on. He hits Derek Young for a long gain. Then he goes over the middle to Eric Saubert, the tight end, for a good long gain. And then a wide receiver screen to MVS. That happened a couple times today. That seemed to work pretty well. And by the way, on that play, Elijah Arroyo was a key blocker to spring MVS, and I thought did a nice job in his responsibility. Then Jalen Milroe comes in, 55-yard touchdown to Elijah Arroyo. I mean, just a fantastic throw and catch. And then I think that was the end of that series. Let's see. They did some third down stuff. And on this, a quick out from Sam Darnold to Cooper Kupp. Arik Woolen does a nice job of closing and keeping it to a short gain. It would not have been a first down. Next play from Sam Darnold to A.J. Barner on a crossing route for what would have been a first down against Patrick O'Connell. Great route from A.J. Barner, showing some speed, which I don't think he gets credit for. Great pass from Sam Darnold. Screen to Zach Charbonnet. That would have been a first down. Quick slant to JSN. That would have been a first down. So, again, Sam Darnold was just like on it today. Drew Lock comes in and he throws another screen to MVS, throws a ball away, middle screen to Zach Charbonnet. Got nothing because Mike Morris actually had a really nice play there, beat Bryce Cabledew on the inside and swallowed up the screen. Then Drew Lock throws a nice out pass to Tyrone Broden for what would have been a first down. That was against Isas Waxter. Jalen Milroe comes in. He first sees Tyrone Broden kind of do a stop route. And again, this is a third down drill. Doesn't trust it. So he hitches once, looks elsewhere, comes back to Broden, who's still sitting there in a vacated zone, throws it to him. First down. Like, it was great. Like, obviously would have liked to have him hit it on the first read, but if he saw something that gave him concern, I'm actually more encouraged that he didn't just throw it and he was more cautious and then came back to it. And then the next throw was a gorgeous throw from Jalen Milroe to Ricky White. He did that in front of Jarek Reed for what would have been a first down. Hits Ricky White on a quick slant. Next play hits John Rice Plumlee on a slant on the next play. So everybody was making contributions on offense. And then I think those are the end of my notes. They did a red zone drill toward the end. And one of the better plays of the day was a pass from Sam Darnold to Cooper Kupp, who toe taps both feet in the end zone on it. Like, basically what happened, let me recreate it. They're at like the 7-yard line, 5-yard line, something like that. And Sam Darnold takes the snap, play action. Initial read isn't there. He has to scramble to his left. And on the play, Cooper Kupp's kind of coming back from the back corner of the end zone, kind of towards Sam Darnold to the front corner, right corner of the end zone. And he hits Cooper Kupp, who then keeps both feet miraculously in bounds. I saw the replay to make sure, and he did for a touchdown. So honestly, like, it was, I don't think you could have asked for a more encouraging big step forward from the offense than what they got today. And they got it from all three quarterbacks They got it from a series of receivers, all the tight ends. And I don't think we know the Seahawks defense is good. This wasn't about the Seahawks defense not showing up today. I give credit to Clint Kubiak as well. He seemed to be kind of in his bag today, had some plays that were giving the defense trouble. And if they, I don't expect this is going to be it the rest of the way, but if they are capable of what we saw today, they're capable of being a good enough offense to team up with a great defense to be a good football team. And I don't think I could have credibly said that to this point in training camp. So a lot left to do, preseason games ahead, more work, but really, really positive. I'm sitting here. I think I'm looking at Sean Alexander. That's wild. Yeah. Sean Alexander, former MVP over here to my left, which is cool to see. All right. I think I've got one super chat here. This is from Brian Henderson. Been a member for 12 months. Says, feels like there's no buzz for Byron Murphy. How has he looked? I think he's looked fine. And, he's, from the team's perspective, done great. I don't know that I've seen as much as maybe the team has, but I certainly trust their read of things more than I would trust mine. And it is a little hard to stand out on the interior line when you're doing 1v1s and you're doing, these padded practices. He has not been unblockable. I wouldn't say like you can't keep your eyes off of him, but given what the team's asking him to do, whether it's Mike McDonald or Jaron Reed or Leonard Williams or anyone else, Gray Zabel, all those guys have had glowing reviews about Byron Murphy. Let's hope that all translates to plays against opposition once the regular season begins. All right. I think that does it, at least for this edition of the post-practice report. A lot of great stuff going on, and exciting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of this week as they prep for the first preseason game against Pete Carroll and Geno Smith and Jamal Adams. If you missed the interview with Mike Jerrell, make sure you check that out. Mike's a great guy. We had a fun time together, and I continue to be very impressed with him. I think he's got a lot to offer as a backup tackle on this team. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support. If you haven't already, give the show a like and click subscribe. Now is a great time to do it. If you haven't already gone to patreon.com/hawkblogger, please do, and sign up, get ad-free audio of this show, as well as access to the Discord channel, and get verified over at hbtix.com. hbtix.com. You can go there. There are dozens of tickets to this preseason game against the Raiders. See Pete Carroll, cheer for him, welcome him back, and have fun seeing Jalen Milroe's first game at Lumen Field, man. Like, if you're ever going to go see a preseason game, this is the one to go see. Go to hbtix.com. I charge no fees for it. It's just a matter of trying to get Seahawks tickets in the seats, Seahawks fans in the seats, buying them from other Seahawks fans. All right, folks. Have a great rest of your afternoon. I'm Brian Nemhauser. This has been your post-practice report for Monday.